Hi, this is Steve Hargadon, and welcome to another Tiny House Summit interview. I'm with Val and Tim. I'm not actually physically with them because I think they're in Austria right now. Where are you?
Right now in Tyrol, one of the mountain regions.
How fun. And you're inside a bus.
Yeah, we're inside of our home, our tiny house, and it's a bus for sure. An old school bus.
So it's not only an old bus and a home, but it's also a hostel.
Yeah, we have 6 beds for guests, and in the bunk room we have, and then we sleep in the back of the bus with the two of us and a daughter who is 2 years old, and we have our dog Lewis. So we're 8 plus a baby plus a dog. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, the audience who's watching this, you have to go to the website. It's letsbenomads.com and just look at the pictures of the inside of the bus. It's not like it's like triple bunks, right, on both sides.
Yeah.
And it has the feel of like a travel company or a hotel. There are booking dates. There's where you're going. There are all the amenities. How many people on a given day, on average, do you actually have staying with you?
Well, today, for example, there are 3 people staying, but I think in average, what do you think? Like 4? Yeah, more or less 4 people.
That's so amazing. How did you think of this?
We were traveling in Guatemala, and we knew that we wanted to convert a bus, but then we really missed the snow and skiing and snowboarding because it's our biggest passions. And then we figured, why not a tiny house that moves to the mountains and come by starting a hostel? It's a bit like all these things that came together, and we wanted to start a hostel in Canada at some point as well. So we wanted to do this project in the States and Canada, but then as Europeans, it was quite difficult to realize that. So we decided to go back to Europe, which was a good choice because it's very easy to drive from one resort to another. They're very close to each other. And right now, for example, we have a ski pass of 91 ski resorts in one pass. So we can literally go to the whole of Austria with our bus and our clients, follow the snow.
Well, so it's basically a combination of things. We love to be around people. We love to be free to travel. We love we love to snowboard and ski and discover. So, or everything sort of fits together when we came up with this idea, and it was in Guatemala at one point. We decided that's what we were going to do, and now we're there. It's 3 years ago since the idea came into our heads.
Can you actually break even? Are you making a living?
Yeah.
Well, sort of our costs are if there's 3 to 4 people like every day on the bus, then we break even. If there's more, then we can save. Well, not save, then we can do something extra, like maybe go have dinner or have a beer somewhere. But otherwise, it's just break even.
Yeah. There was a plan as well of this project. It's really for fun, and it's not to become rich or something. It's an amazing life experience, and you meet so many people and see so many places, and we have the freedom to go wherever we want. Like this summer, we're going to Norway. Yeah, just because we can.
Because we decided to be to be our summer plan. So yeah, I think it's
Do you know anybody else doing this?
Not personally. We looking on the internet, but then we found like one hostel who did it a couple of years ago, but it was more in Central America, but they stopped. They did it only for like 10 months or something. And then there's another one, a bit smaller bus with not the same amenities as we have, and they're doing the same in South America. I can't remember the name of the section.
La Conchita, but they're not a hostel though. They're just renting out their equipped bus.
Yeah, so you can rent out an equipped bus. Actually, nobody's doing this. Like, I think we're the.
A lot of people said it couldn't be done though. Quite funny as well. Forums and stuff in America, everybody was like, "Well, it's not possible and it's not feasible. You can't do this." And we're like, "Yeah, watch it. Well, wait, it's gonna happen." And, so there you go.
So my son and I bought a school bus this past summer, and he and his wife have been converting it to their own tiny house. But getting insurance is a huge nightmare here. Insurance, licensing, parking, is it pretty complicated? Is that why you chose Europe, because it's a little bit easier?
No.
Well, it was the other way around. We thought that the United States was a lot easier because we read on the internet that, for example, to become a mobile home or an RV, you just have to have some water, a bed, and
maybe they made it harder these
but
days because so many people want to do it in the States. But in Europe, yeah, insurance in Europe is very easy.
Well, in our case, it was easy, but yeah, I don't know. It sort of all came together at one point. We found the right people to import it, the right people to go to for the insurance, and it's been a long process and hasn't been very. Yeah, at one point suddenly everything was okay. So
getting it through the
inspection
homologation in Europe is very, very, very hard, and I think we've been very lucky like this.
Yeah, I don't
think people will be able to do it again. So.
Yeah, and I also don't think it's not possible in every country in Europe. So yeah, it's a bit of a luck factor as well.
Are you open about what it cost you to convert the bus? Are you comfortable talking about the dollar amounts?
The basics, yeah.
The basics, yeah. We can talk in euros, in dollars, but it's easy.
Yeah.
Please, in euros.
The basic prices of investment and crowdfunding, yeah, that's fine. Those kind of things.
So what did you pay for the bus, and where did you buy it?
We bought it on eBay, of all things. We did a crowdfunding first through Indiegogo. And we raised 23,000 euros, $90. And let's say 12,000 of that was profit. So the rest was investments. Like, for example, you sell a sweater with the Nomads logo on it, and then the part goes to the and stuff. The bus cost $7,500. And then basically it cost us 12,000, like the profit we made of crowdfunding, to get it shipped to Belgium and imported and those kind of things. Yeah,
so shipping was also like $5,500 more or less, plus then you have to import tax and everything. So I think in total, yeah, something like 13,000, maybe 14,000 euro just to get the bus from the United States to buy it and to put it in Belgium.
It comes from Nashville, Tennessee.
No way. That's very close to me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So are there licensing requirements for providing overnight accommodations? Do you have to get licensed as a hostel?
Well, basically, we are not really promoting this as a,
No, yeah, basically as official as possible, but it just doesn't exist. So we are more ski, snowboard, stay for the night. I guess you can see. We're both instructors, so I guess that's the better way to see it.
Interesting.
It's more like we're moving. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. It doesn't exist, so you can't push.
There's no laws for it, so it's pretty hard. Yeah, completely legal everywhere because it's pretty hard.
I have no idea how you would do it in the States, and it's 100% different rules. But we're self-employed people, so we
we pay our taxes in Belgium, and that's how we try to be as legally as possible, but illegal, because normally in Europe you should pay tax in every country that you visit, and then it's a big mess because we do so many countries, so it's pretty hard.
So how do you advertise?
We're good at social media. That's one of our what we invest in and what we like to do as well. So we invite cameras who join us, and then some people contacted us first. People who were just staying with us, and randomly we asked them to stay for another week to film, or it's like very random people who do this out of love for the adventure as well. They create beautiful videos that we post, so and the people can really experience what it's like, kind of. And we do Airbnb, and our website and a lot of media is picking it up, and it's a bit of everything out there, kind of.
I didn't think of Airbnb. Do you get many reservations through Airbnb?
Yeah, we do actually. I would say
50%?
50% more or less of the so far. But it's also because we're pretty small, sort of on our own social media. Well, small, we got more than 8,000 followers now, but it's still to get people come on the bus from that followers.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Somebody just stopped next to the bus and they're...
Steve, we also have guests arriving at the moment. So I don't
Guests arriving?
Yeah, they're right there.
Okay.
Well, do what you need
Louis.
to do, and maybe I can keep talking to one of you, or we can pause, whatever you need to do.
Chill.
Okay, so Tim, tell me about like
so I would say 50% like Airbnb sort of, and we normally, what we do is we put ourselves into like 7 different locations in the area that we will visit, just the cities, the major cities. And then, you know, if people look us up and they figure out what we are doing, because we clearly state, okay, before booking, make sure that you contact us and that you know what you're getting into, because it's not a normal hostel. But that way, it seems like a lot of people want to take the effort to come and find us, because it's such a special thing. It's so unique. So
okay, so let's talk practical. Water and showers and toilet. How do you? What's your setup?
Well, in general, we're always good at finding any issues that might come along. So for now, for example, we had the last couple of weeks, it was so cold that all the pipes were frozen and we didn't have the right installation yet, so we couldn't take showers inside of the bus. But thanks to the Facebook community that we've built so far, there's somebody who said, okay, you can come up to Surfhouse, which is a Austrian town, and
where no vans can park.
Normally nobody's ever allowed there, but so we drove in there with our big yellow bus, and we could park it next to a hotel, and we could use their, it was an old hotel, not a new one, but we could use their facilities like toilet and shower and stuff. So we could also even let our guests use them. So it was a way to solve the thing. But normally we do manage to get around by 2 or 3 days with our water that we have supplied. Solar panels are more than enough if the sun shines, obviously, for the electricity. And we have a generator in case everything fails. We can put in some gas and then just use the generator to power up the bus.
How are you heating your water?
A boiler.
Boiler on gas.
It's a boiler on gas. Yeah, it works really well. It's we installed a press button in the shower, so it's not too comfortable.
It's a timer.
Yeah, it's like a timer, so it gives you 30 seconds every time you press. So you don't like, it's stupid, but if you shave or wash your hair, you don't keep it running. So then a person can easily wash himself with 14 liters. So it saves a lot of water and works very well.
How do you manage waste?
So far in Europe, like the most towns, they have bins, or we have like at the hotel next to it, they had different bins for each, for glass, for paper, for just other waste, and so we can put it in there.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Pretty easy so far.
So do you have a gray water tank? Are you composting toilet, or are you using a regular toilet with black water tank?
We have a composting toilet, the Swedish system, separate. So the pee goes to the gray tank and poo goes into the bucket and turns into compost. And the water from like dishwashing, shower, and pee goes into the 450 liters. So let's say that's about 3 gallons?
No, 450 liters. Yeah. We have no idea actually how many gallons that is.
Yeah, quite big. It's 3 tanks connected to each other.
And we have the same for fresh water. So we have fresh and wastewater is the same.
So where do you get new fresh water, and where do you dispose of the waste?
Fresh water comes from, we have just like a garden hose with us, so we can connect it outside. In summer, it's very easy. You have those points, or like when you're on a camping car parking, you just pay like the euro. I guess you have that in the States as well. In wastewater, I often have those special wastewater pits where you throw it. empty it.
Yeah.
And then and when you put the hose in, and then some, I guess everywhere around the world you have the what's the wheel?
Sewers.
The sewer system. So you have those little things at the side of the road. So we just put the hose on there and it goes into the sewage. That's quite easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like sometimes also gas stations, they have an outlet for water, so you can take fresh water from them. Or in worst case, we devised a new system where we put a what is it?
I found that word the other day. The
where you put something on a garden hose, and we just fill it with buckets of water or some cans of water. But it takes a long time because our reservoirs are that big. So.
But it works because now most hoses are frozen outside, or taps are frozen. So that's the way we do it these days. We just fill it with gallon buckets into the thingy and then into the pipe into the tank.
So when people look at the pictures of the bus, they're going to see something on the top of the bus that looks like either a rack or a deck. Do you go up there, or is that just for storage?
It's definitely a deck. So in the summer we use it a lot to chill on, and in the winter we haven't used it quite that often. But it's and now also for the winter I installed some extra boxes where we can store skis and snowboards and what else, wood and some other stuff on the roof. But I think in a month or so, when the sun is out longer here in Europe, we'll be able to use it more again. And there's also bean bags, so you can relax, and it's a very
like
very
second
nice
living room. It's amazing. It gives so much more spin. We have like a long table and 2 long benches.
Yeah.
So sitting there is amazing. You're all over all the other vans. You're like your private penthouse.
I would definitely say it's the best thing ever. If you ever doubt about doing anything like that, it gives you like a private space no matter where you are, and it's beautiful. It's nice.
So a bus has lots of windows. How do you keep the bus warm enough?
We system. I think we looked at this for a long time to figure it out, but in the end we bought old Belgium army blankets, and we cut them into the right pieces, and then we sew the ends ourselves, and then we hung them up with those click buttons, and we use leather straps to roll them up. And because it's 100% wool, it insulates very, very well, and we never have a problem with the cold and stuff. It's super, super nice.
Yeah, we're definitely a big fan of wool. It does the job. It's natural, and it keeps the moisture. It gets it into the
and because the bus vibrates, it doesn't cause any trouble. And the whole insulation of the bus, like the ceiling and the walls and stuff, is all sheep wool as well. So
did you add insulation to the roof of the bus?
Yeah, we took everything out, like the whole roof, the floor and the sides, everything. It was pretty good actually, because it was a lot of rust under there. And so we cleaned it, we put a new layer of paint on it, and then we put the new insulation in there also, because we knew like we were going to the mountains and the snow and freezing temperatures and stuff. So if we would have kept it the way it was, it definitely would have been a big problem right now.
We chose a very high ceiling as well, more space for insulation, and we have, I think, around a 5-year floor. So because not all American school buses, but you guys know that they are not at the same height, and we found one that's with a taller roof.
Yeah, the one we bought was called an activity bus, and it was a little bit taller.
Yeah, we probably have something like that.
Okay, what about electrical?
Yeah, we found it's an American company. Yeah, Goal Zero. They're pretty well known, I think, right now. They didn't sponsor us, but they gave us a good price for their battery packs. It's called we're ambassadors for them. So it's called the Yeti 1250, and we got 2 of them. And we got 2 solar panels on the roof that are connected to each one of them. So that's the way we get electricity. But the good thing about the Goal Zero is that it also can charge while we're driving. So we connected it to the bus batteries. And you can even plug it into a regular outlet if you're somewhere connected to the electricity. So it's a very good system, I think.
and it has an inverter in it.
Are you running 12 volt or traditional 220?
Yeah, all of it, because it goes zero, it's give it both, so you can choose.
Yeah. So it gives an out or even USB
So the bus has normal plugs everywhere, but also USB plugs. And those cigarette.
So the connection dropped for a second. So don't repeat because it's in the recording, but I missed that last part. But European is 220, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if people want to, they can go online and they can see how much you charge per night. Is that pretty comparable for other hostels? It's obviously cheaper than a hotel room necessarily would be for someone.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely cheaper than hotel rooms for sure. But really, it depends a bit on the resort where you're going. But the last one we were in Serfhaus, you'd pay for a 2-room easily 200 euros per night, maybe 250 even. And yeah, that's way more than we are charging. Plus, we also give food in the morning and the evening. So yeah, I think it's a good price. Actually, that's, yeah. No, what do you think? I think it's a fair price. It's not too expensive.
You can't really compare to a hostel, because I'd say, well, back in the day, I remember from hostels it was like 20 euros, and we charge around 70 euros in high season a night, but that includes dinner and sheets and breakfast and the experience. And yeah, and we also create adventure with you, and we'll go snowboarding together, or we, yeah, for example, somebody arrived with and his luggage was left at the airport, or didn't arrive at the airport, so we immediately gave snowboarding clothes and a helmet and extra goggles. And yeah, we really take care of people like they're part of our family. And that's what they said as well the other day when we had guests. They're like, oh, we have family meals and home cooked meals, and it's really that experience that we give. So it's a home away from home. And then
it's pretty hard to compare maybe to a hostel who does the same but doesn't move. And maybe there are some hostels like that, but I have no idea what the price. They don't exist in the Alps, like the things that we are doing, providing people to go to a mountain to be able to ski and snowboard. So still, it's a unique thing, so it's pretty hard to put a price on that. We might be even too low sometimes, we think, or we might be even right on spot or whatever. I don't know. For now, it's okay. We're surviving, so that's good.
So what's your plan? How long do you want to do this?
Well, our original plan was to not have an end date, but now we're sort of thinking of doing it 3 years and then evaluate if it's how everything goes, if it's still, you know, doable, and if the bus will continue to work, and if our finances keep up and everything. So, but 3 years is more or less in our
yeah, in our life, I don't know, the way it's been the last couple of days, there's always projects coming up, or ideas, or people or companies who want to work together. So yeah, this project can literally go everywhere, and we'll see where it goes. Everything is possible for now, but yeah, we always see it as a 3-year project that will evolve into something bigger along the way. And it's a great way of,
yeah, we did one summer already, so now winter, then Norway in the next summer, and then we'll see what happens. But normally like another winter and a summer.
Have you had to do any major repairs? Has the bus broken down ever?
You talk about the bus itself, not the inside, you mean?
Yeah, the engine or the transmission or some physical component.
Yeah, we've had our share of problems already, especially because we went to Spain this summer, and it's pretty hot there, and the bus wasn't really ready to climb, because there's climb and stuff in that heat. So we overheated the engine quite a bit, and I think that caused quite some problems, which caused, for example, some leaks, like the engine, you know, the cooling system, there were leaks, so we had to repair the tubes, the pipes, whatever, in the back of the engine. But the worst was probably when we were in San Sebastian, a city in Spain also. I was driving, and at one point I took a turn, and I heard like clunk, like a piece fell out of the bus or something. I had no idea what it was, and she was driving behind me because at that point my parents were visiting, and they said, "Oh, stop the bus," but I couldn't drive anymore anyway, so I had to stop the bus. But it's in the middle of a big, huge city, and yeah, it was the piece that is in between the transmission and the engine, or the axis. Yeah, so I don't know the actual
thing
name.
that makes the axis turn, basically. Something like that. But in the States, the guy gave it to us.
Yeah, the funny story is, before, we bought the bus in Tennessee, and the guy said, "Oh, I'll give you this extra piece. It's pretty heavy. It's like this long, and it can turn." And he said, "Well, if you have to buy it, it's probably going to cost you 1,200 or more euros. So I'll give it to you because I have a spare one anyway." And they sometimes break, and I thought, okay, that's weird, but give it to me anyway. And then we were able to repair it with the help of a local Spanish mechanic, and at the end of the night, after 3 hours or something, we put a new one in, and then we could drive off to another spot again.
I am not the guy to be giving names to car parts, or bus parts, but maybe it was the Differential.
Yeah, I think so. Differential, probably. Yeah.
Interesting.
Good job.
Okay, so what's the best part of what you're doing? Is it the freedom? Is it the time together as a family? What makes this so special for you?
Can we just say all of that?
Yeah, I think all of it, yeah.
But also just sharing, like, every week is so different and a totally different energy, and also single travelers, you call that? People who travel alone?
Solo, yeah.
Solo travelers meeting each other, and then you just have, for example, last week we had a guy from South Africa, Belgians, an American, I don't know, it's a combination from all over the world, and they share their passion together because you book this bus because you're adventurous and you like outdoor activities and all those things, and you get onto the bus and immediately there are friends, kind of people who share your passions and you can go do those things with. And seeing that and having those people around us is amazing. And then
for me, it's like, I don't know, for you as well, I think it changes also sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, today I went up to the mountain, I was able to make some power turns, and that's also something I'm really passionate about, but I could share it with the same thing with some people on the bus, so they could learn of my experience. So that was a nice thing. But sometimes it's just riding together, or sometimes it's learning our daughter how to snowboard, or sometimes it's just the adventure of driving to the next destination and seeing everything turn out well,
solutions as a team,
finding
as well.
solutions and working together, creating new ideas. So there's so many things in this project that it's never ending, actually. And the other thing was, last night we were just playing a game, like a card game, with the 5 of us, and in Belgium, or maybe in the United States the same, but to make that happen, you have to call people, you have to make an appointment, and it takes a long time before something like that spontaneously happens. And in here, it's just, okay, we're sitting across each other. What do we do tonight? Oh, let's play a game. But I'm a big fan of playing games, so it's a lot of things that are actually making me happy in doing this.
Yeah, the simple life. That's nice.
So part of the movement in the United States, I think, reflects this desire to go back to a life which is simpler and maybe more affordable. Is there the same kind of a movement in Europe, or is Europe already more conscious of space and space usage?
It's starting a bit.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think in the United States it's more of a movement than it is right here, right now. We have some friends who are driving around in smaller RVs, but those people do it more because they're so passionate about snow that they're really looking for the best snow. It's not about living smaller or anything. There are some people that I think in Europe that
slowly starting, but not as far as the States.
No, I don't think so. There are some communities and stuff evolving in Europe, in Germany, in Spain, and thinking differently about building and about living smaller. But the majority of the Europeans, I think, they're still living in normal houses and
like tiny houses behind your truck. It's not legal yet in Europe, so it's very hard to make that possible. And there are communities fighting for it, and a lot of Facebook groups and stuff. So
yeah,
it's happening, but at a very slower rate than in the States.
So I know this is an oversimplification and it may not represent reality, but I think the Japanese already live very small. Their society is built on small living. If you go to a lot of places in the world, they live small just by the necessity. Right, so Guatemala, you're gonna have lots of smaller houses and huts and the like. Europe, I have this from my visits there. I have this impression there's just more sort of thoughtfulness about housing. In the United States, the average house size now is, I think, over 2,500 square feet. Is that your perception as well, that things in the US are just bigger, or is that my own bias?
Well, I think that's correct, because and also because there's a lot more space. As I see it in Europe, we've created these small villages out of the Middle Ages or even before that, and so there's not a lot of room to create like huge houses and places. There are some like suburbs who have big houses in Belgium, for example, or in other cities, but in general, it's so packed already. Like Belgium will have like 11 million people in a country that's maybe what the half of New York or something. I don't know. I can't even compare, but it's so small that there's so many people living there that it's not so. There's not a lot of possibilities to build big houses. So yeah.
You guys can keep building, and bigger and go bigger and go bigger, and then one day America will be full as well, I guess.
Yeah, maybe if you ever get full, but it's such a huge country, so I don't think you will ever get full. But what I also think is that in the United States, or at least we have your family in Texas there living, that the houses are something not so how do you say it, like durable. Yeah, we built in Europe, it was more like stone, and in the United States, they just put a house in 2 weeks, more or less, and then
wooden framing and bam, done.
It's super fast. Like if we build a house in Belgium, it takes like 6 to 9 months or something to build a house, and then it's even a quick job.
So in the U.S., the generation of students, a generation of young adults who have graduated from college, many of whom with lots of debt, have what they feel like are very limited prospects financially. So the idea of buying a big house just doesn't feel like it's financially viable. Mm-hmm. In Europe, is that same group age, the 20 to 30-year-olds, are they experiencing the same sense of not being able to accomplish financially what their parents did?
No.
We
don't have student loans because university is basically almost free. We pay a lot of taxes, so that's still a whole different system.
Our parents pay taxes, and then and the kids, they can go to university at a very low cost, so they can come out of university without any debt in general, and then they start working. If they have their degree, they start at a very high income already. So and in Belgium, or in Europe, I think in general, it's just the banks, they look at your income, and then let's say 1/3 or something of that income you can invest into your housing, and that's maybe not enough to buy a big house, but to buy like a small apartment or a smaller house in the countryside, it's still enough. So there's not that much. I think it's a big difference, probably because of the debt and the loans in US.
Yeah.
Is there anything I haven't asked you about the running your Let's Be Nomads that people normally do ask?
A million questions, but yeah, people ask us like, I don't know, would we change something if we do it again? And about the bus, but I think we did really well on creating the space and optimizing everything, and it works really well. And to accomplish that with 8 people, I'm kind of proud of us for the way we made it and build it.
We have 2 square meters per person. It's not a lot, but it sort of works, and that's definitely an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And it's mainly, I think, because we kept the hallway. There's a flow, so you can walk from the front to the back in one go. There's no turns or anything you have to make, and because of the triple bunks that we made, it's tiny, but it works. So I think we wouldn't change much about the whole thing.
So that's nice. And
yeah,
maybe we'll come to the States with the bus one day.
To Canada, maybe. Who knows?
Pretty expensive to ship it. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, well, it costs us about 5,000 to 6,000 euros, which is okay.
You're moving your entire home, so in the end, it's quite worth it.
Yeah, and we had some issues as well, because yeah, they don't take care as good as you would for if and obviously sometimes I think in the ocean there are waves and stuff, so you can't really control it. But I think if we would ship it, I don't know if I would even dare to ship it because it's
Yeah, we can install
could be kind of
cameras and
rocky or whatever. Maybe things could break. I don't know. Yeah,
we'll think about
we'll
it.
think about it.
Is there anything else people really want to know when they come to visit the bus?
Well, something, and that's a fair question. I think if we can live like this, I mean, of course we are doing it, but if it's not too much, like if there's not too many people constantly around, or yeah, you need your privacy at some point or another. So, and that's a good question because we struggle with it a little bit sometimes. Like, but then not struggle is maybe a big word. But then I mean that we now decide, for example, okay, you can go on your own, and I'll stay in the bus, so you get some more privacy, or
And more, I like to be with you any moment. So it's not really a problem.
The two of us, I mean,
but yeah, but more also, you're living your business in some way. Like you're constantly in your own hostel. You can't just move to your own house and lock the hostel behind you. So we always have work to do, and it's never. Yeah, we always need to kind of keep focused on the business of work hard, play harder to have fun enough and to do this for the good reasons. And
yeah,
so that's finding a balance sometimes. But
yeah,
the guests are amazing as well. They're super helpful. They help with dishes and even helping me do all those little things that make it doable, I guess.
Yeah, that's something we've changed also a bit. I think in the beginning we were thinking like this more of a hotel, so we'll do everything for you, but then that's basically impossible. So now when somebody new arrives, we're always saying, okay, this is a hostel, so any help that you can give us is more than welcome. And it works a lot better as well because people are more involved now and it's more part of the family.
They feel more useful.
It's a good thing, and it gives us also a bit more freedom. So it's super busy, I think, in general. And maybe people underestimate it, but because we do everything ourselves, like from websites to making to making a new trip, or to whatever, make food. So many things to do, and we're raising a daughter and we have a dog, so it's never ending. Yeah.
Okay, so are you on a laptop? Could you actually walk us out of the bus and show us what the view looks like where you are?
Yeah, we could do that right now. I think still some light outside. So.
You want to do it?
No, we can do it together.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to get Fenna. I don't know if you want to wait. Oh, she's there.
Hi.
Hi.
That's Steve.
Hi, Fenna.
She doesn't really know yet, but yeah, it was nice meeting you. And
well, let's go outside. Or what?
You already did.
No, I didn't do that yet. I don't know if you. How should I do this?
This is perfect.
Yeah. Okay. I'll film the outside. Then. Can you see?
Yes, perfectly.
So this is where we are. Yeah, it's a valley in Austria. One of the many that we are visiting. That's the bus. Is that good like this, or you want more?
It's great. I'm trying not to talk so people don't see me, they just see the bus.
Okay. And that's also the nice thing. Every time your location changes, so we can many views in our lives. This one is okay, but we've been already on better ones.
Yeah, so, Tim, show us the view again if you would.
Sorry?
Can you show us the view again? Or you're already back in the bus?
Yeah, but I can go out. It's no problem. Where? Which side do you want to see?
Just kind of the panorama.
The panorama. Like this?
Yep. And then maybe go around a full circle.
Around the bus?
No, kind of make a circle. So
Make a circle. Okay, yeah. Full circle.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, no worries. Up. Hello.
Okay, I think we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, okay.
Bye-bye, and good luck.
Thanks, Val. Bye, Fenna.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.